What would make 10,000 Greek warriors willingly march into the heart of the Persian Empire without fully knowing why? The epic tale of the 10,000, or media the Greek word for 10,000, begins around 401 BCE. Greece was only just beginning to recover from the long and devastating Peloponnesian Civil War between Sparta and Athens, along with many smaller city-states allied to each side. This conflict marked the end of supremacy of both Athens and Sparta within the Greek world, opening the door for Macedonia and later Epirus to rise and assume leadership among the Greeks. As the Greek world emerged from the bloody struggle, another conflict was quietly forming in the east. After the death of King Darius II in 404 BCE, the Persian throne passed to his elder son, Artaxerxes II. His younger brother, Cyrus the Younger, also believed the crown should be his. Suspicion grew, rivalry intensified, and Cyrus began secretly assembling an army to challenge his brother's claim. Before we begin, if you love forgotten empires, ruthless medieval politics, and true stories that sound fictional, make sure you subscribe to Historical Facts channel and hit the like button. It helps this channel survive the YouTube algorithm battlefield. Cyrus understood a crucial truth. His own forces were not enough to face the immense power of the great king. So he saw a decisive advantage: Greek mercenaries. Despite centuries of conflict between Greeks and Persians, Cyrus recognized the discipline, courage, and battlefield effectiveness of Greek hoplites. He began by recruiting one hardened commander. Soon, more than 10,000 Greeks followed. Thus began one of the most remarkable military expeditions in ancient history. Cyrus the Younger was often described as the better of the two brothers: noble, brave, battle-hardened, generous, just, and eloquent. Yet, he was younger, and that alone denied him the throne. He openly admired Greek civilization, praising not only their military superiority, but their intellect as well. Of course, Xenophon, the man telling the story, was Greek and admired Cyrus deeply. When Cyrus speaks to Greeks in Anabasis, he appears persuasive, articulate, and respectful. One could argue this portrayal is shaped by a Greek perspective. Yet Cyrus's actions, not just Xenophon's words, will soon test whether his reputation was deserved. What is certain is that trust between the two Persian princes did not exist. Each watched the other carefully. For this reason, Cyrus, now both prince and satrap, began assembling his army in secrecy, preparing for an unavoidable confrontation. The official explanation was simple. Cyrus claimed he was managing unrest in his satrapy, dealing with rebellious tribes. Though Persia was vast and powerful, many regions offered only nominal loyalty to the great king, if any at all. This pretext allowed Cyrus to gather troops and allies without immediate suspicion. To the Greeks, the campaign was presented as easy work. They were told they would fight local tribes, particularly the Pisidians, not the king himself. This deception explains the urgency of the march. Cyrus demanded speed, hoping to reach the empire's heart before Artaxerxes could react. And this is where one man enters the story. Clearchus was a Spartan general so formidable and uncompromising that even other Spartans found him difficult. He had once been sent to Thrace to seize Byzantium. Yes, the same Byzantium that would later lend its name to the Byzantine Empire. After partially completing his mission, Clearchus began altering objectives, renegotiating terms, and operating independently. Sparta recalled him to face punishment. A loyal Spartan would have returned. Clearchus did not. Instead, he went rogue, taking his forces with him. Word of a renegade Spartan commander leading a hardened, unattached army soon reached Cyrus the Younger. Cyrus immediately sent envoys with generous sums of money and an invitation. Whether Clearchus knew the true aim of the expedition remains unclear, but word of profitable and seemingly straightforward employment spread quickly. Soon, bands of freelance hoplites from across Greece gathered along the coast of Asia Minor. The army eventually exceeded 10,000 men. Organized by city of origin, it was led by an informal council of captains. Because Greeks famously debated everything, among the most prominent leaders were Clearchus and Chrysophos of Sparta, and Proxenos of Boeotia, who invited a young Xenophon to join as guest and companion. Cyrus urged them forward. The march was long, harsh, and unforgiving. Over 2,000 miles through plains, deserts, and mountains. Supplies were scarce. Discipline was strained. Desertions and arguments were constant. Yet they endured. They crossed Anatolia and reached Babylonia, deep inside the Persian Empire. And that is when everything began to unravel. Because the Greeks were about to learn the truth. And the truth would change everything. If you're enjoying this deep dive into ancient history, make sure you follow us on the Historical Facts channel, because what happens next turns this expedition into legend. Part 2 is coming, and when it arrives, the masks come off.